Greetings, guys. This is Kara. Welcome to the Big Mess Studio, which isn't quite as big a mess as it usually is. So I have decided that I am going to show you my planner routines. So I've already done a couple of things because they take a long time and there's no reason to bore you with all that. I've done my morning writing, which I just have one of the little daily calendars that give you the definitions of words, and I just use those as my practice for writing in the morning. Part of the reason I do that is because excuse me, is because this kind of writing is really more drawing the letters, and drawing the words, and you go slowly and you go purposefully, and so that helps me in the morning get going. So this is my planner. She's a bit of a mess right now, but that's okay. The reason I plan is because it gives me a structure to put all of those unstructured thoughts down on paper. And I am using it as a way to learn to trust myself in the goals that I have set and that I'm running with. So really it's a structure it's the structure of my brain, and it helps in many ways. It has little spaces to put each little thought, and it has I can play with it, and I can make it pretty and make it my own, and that's what works for my head. That's what works for me. It changes when my life changes, which is very, very important. It's one of the reasons that I really dislike the term planner piece. If it just is not, it doesn't make sense to my head, because you are changing your life. You're living your life. It's going to change, meaning your planner is going to change, which then changes your brain, which changes your planner, which, anyway. So planner piece is one of those things. Not quite my gig. Anyway, I'm going to try to use it this year to become my best self. And hopefully you can see that I'm focusing on certain areas throughout my life to try to get down to what my best self is. If I even believe in that term, but we're running with it for this year. Okay, so what is my planner? It is a disc-bound system. I got these wonderful Pent discs off of Etsy, and I probably should have looked it up, but I didn't, and it's been years and years. This is a cover from Happy Planner. I do like it because you'll see inside it's very decorative, but when I close it, it's black. It makes all of that decoration, all of that chaos go away, which I very much like. I have thumb tabs rather than top tabs. They're easier. I don't know if anybody else uses them as much as I do, but they're definitely easier for me. And because whatever, the top is where my pens live, and normally these aren't there because they're for my they're for this video, so they will go away soon, which will make me very happy. So this is where I keep the holders for my pens, and then the sides are dividers that I have added. So and this is in order of how my brain thinks about the stuff that I need to do every day. That was one thing that I kind of learned last year, as I had the sections of my planner laid out in a different way, and that meant I didn't get to them, which meant I wasn't working in them, which made no sense. So I put it in the order that made sense to me. And now it works. One thing I'd like to note is if you're watching videos, mine or anybody else's on YouTube, engagement is how we get feedback. Not only for algorithms or whatever else, whatever stupidness that YouTube itself does, but for me personally, it's very difficult for me to teach or discuss things without an audience, and so I need feedback. So if you guys do like what I'm doing, do subscribe, do the whole, comment, subscribe, like all of those kinds of things, because that's how I get my feedback. So yes, it helps with YouTube, but I like the feedback, so give me some feedback. Anyway, okay, so that's my discussion on how this is set up. These are what I call my dailies. These are, I have a whole bunch of different ones. These are probably from the dollar store. I also have a bunch that are already lined from different disc-bound systems. So I just use them daily. And what this is a macro view of all of the details throughout my day for all of my plans, so that I don't flip section to section. This is a Franken planner. I take sections from designated books, designated planners, and I put a month at a time in here. So I don't have to go to multiple planners, to multiple separate books. So to even simplify that, I plan in each of these, and then I make a macro view of what I need to do for the day. It also shows what, how much I actually have to do, because I might have 2 or 3 things in each area, and then I'd have a great big huge list, and that's just too much. It's not feasible. So I also have a section that is how I'm actually spending my time. How I use that is I will go down to, I will take this. This is a little section of 3 or 4. I will take this. I have put lines on it and written out when I woke up. And then these are where I will put my actual to-dos. So I thought I would do that in the process with you today. So we're open up here. Here's kind of some fun stuff. Pretty notes. These are stickers for one of the sections. This is some artwork from one of my grandbabies. My large sticky notes that I love. These are a couple of stencils, my rulers. This is my bat. It's the top of my totem pole, and I think it's wonderful. This is section 1, which are my goals, which I'm not going to share with you because, yeah. But this is also where I put my word of the year. So willful is my word of the year. Yes, I am the worst speller in the world, but in this instance, I meant to do 2 because I want it to be not only my will, but full of being a full life and having it being willful. If that makes sense. I don't know. It makes sense in my head. So those are my goals. Sticky notes, wonderful board to have. I actually don't use them much, contrary to what this looks like. I don't use them much, so I put a bunch in here so that I will hopefully use them more frequently. This is my second section. This is what I call my master section. This is the area that I use for daily stuff. Things I need to get done, mostly bill related, mostly money related kinds of things. This I keep over here. I used to keep quite a few pieces of note paper in here, but she's chunky already, so we slimmed down a little bit. This is my inbox. This insert is from Joanne Crafts. They've gotten rid of almost all of it. But for several years they were doing their own version of a planner, and I loved them, and I had multiple of them. So this year I decided that I was going to use my stash rather than buy anything, which there was a lot. So this is one of those, and again, it's one of those words that's popped out of my head, so it'll come back when it matters, and they don't make them anymore, so bummer. So this is just my January overview. I actually use this one as it's printed, which is rare because I change everything. So each month I have, this is my master monthly. This is one of the Happy Planner plastic envelopes. Just slapped a tab on it so that I can keep receipts in here in case of tracking or disputes. There's actually one I need to talk to the post office about, but that is my master month tab. So in here is mostly month events. So events are, in Kara's world, events are the things that need to happen, need your attention. A lot of times they're outside of the house, and they will probably cost money. So I will be using the section here, this section, the way I have it divided here for tracking. I'm tracking things to see how much of my mood and my physical and those kinds of things correspond. It's just that I had started decorating here already before I decided to use this system, so I used the first week to track this month in. I do redate, and almost everything, especially the months, start with Sunday, which makes absolutely no sense to me. So I redate almost everything. And these are older planners, so I had to redate anyway. So when I do this, I make sure that I have enough space on here to, these are little tiny stickers that I made. They're totally an experiment, but they're kind of fun. But I leave enough room in here to annotate any spending that comes out of my checking account. This, I'm doing a no buy month, which is actually going pretty well, because the things that I have spent money on are mostly things I needed anyway. Groceries, my medications, that kind of thing. Which makes me happy that it's going that well. I do some some decoration here, but mostly it needs to be functional. So this month is also Get Organized month, because it's January. That's what we do in January. So I'm cleaning the studio. Like I said, it's in much better condition than it usually is. And I have recycled and donated boxes of stuff, and I'm not done yet. So yay for me. Put this back in. If I can, I like to use clear page finders. sometimes that doesn't work. Okay, so let's go through here. I don't know what it was, but I did what I thought were beautiful spreads all through my planner for the first week and didn't use a one. But that's one of the dangers in using beautiful things, is you don't want to ruin it with your pen. Of course, that doesn't ruin it, that's just using it. But the same thing happens with beautiful books of shadows and grimoires and other things that people, journals, all of that, that people buy, is they don't want to ruin it with their with their handwriting. Usually I don't have an issue with it, but this one in particular I just loved, and I didn't use the whole week, the whole week through the whole planner. I don't know what the deal was. This is last week. I do pick a theme from the holidays, the not normal holidays, the fun holidays. There's several websites that you can get them off of. National Today, Goldilocks, Time and Date, they all have different ones. And this one was, the 8th was Organize Your Desk Day. So this is my desk, and I have little drawers and my desktop and things that go on shelves. So yeah, I'm silly. That's how that works. But as you can see, I did use this one. And it doesn't look like I have a lot going on, but with everything else that's in here, it fills this up very quickly. This is this month, this week, Tuesday was Appreciate a Dragon Day. So I made some stickers from Creative Fabrica, and then uploaded them into the Cricut design space, and then cut them out. Because I have been organizing for the month, I decided I was going to play with my hoard, which is my stash. These are the areas that I have been working on all week. A very good many of them are checked off, as you can see. But I put on here the day to celebrate. So today is National Cheese Lovers Day, and I have appropriately sent out Happy Cheese Lover Day wishes to multiple people because they're cheese lovers. So this one, like I was saying, this one is the household stuff. This is the events and the specific things that need to happen. I have a list here, and then I'll put these lists on specific days as I work through them. I don't use this section for holidays and that kind of thing, because I have what I call my magic or celebration section back here. So that's where all of that stuff goes. Like I said earlier, this is my this is a project list. A lot of times I'll put shopping lists over here, project planning, if you need to back plan so that you can make sure things are done on time. And then each day I make sure that I have at least one task list. I'll make a note of that. These are from Happy Planner and they come in a 2-pack, and they have, see if this helps at all, I don't know. They have the lines, and then either circles to put in there, or squares. I put them upside down again because I like the thumb tabs, and then a lot of times I will use them backwards, because a dot, which I didn't dot these, I don't know why not. A dot means a task. So I'll have dots and different things to tell me what it is. And then when I do it, then that's where I check it off. If I cross it off, that means it was canceled or it didn't happen and can't be moved forward. So this is my list for today, or for this week. I really like the dragons, they're fun. This is what my week starts out looking like. It's going to be handwriting week next week, National Handwriting Week. So this is just the different fonts that I write in. This section is also where I plan my planning. So tomorrow I will do the deco and prep for next week, and I will put February in my setup. This is where I set the month up because I have a different planner, but we'll go over those in a different video. But this is also where I plan my planning. And those are just blank. I don't have anything specific that I put here. I just use it as I need it. So part of what I did this year is last year I had lots of issues. Oh wait, that's the next couple one. This is my work. I'm slowly getting this into a regular habit and hope to grow the channel so that I can interact with everybody, which is why I'm trying to get everybody to, like, subscribe, all that stuff without actually saying it. So this is this section. I was going to do this collab and video it for this year. This is Meg Journals and who's the other one? Get Messy Art is the other one. There's a collaboration with them. They do Meg Journals does them in January, so Junk Journal January and then Junk Journal July. I just had so much going on that I have not been able to participate, although I've been watching that this year, or this month. Anyway, this is the section. I think this one was, I think it was a 2019. Anyway, this was a previous planner. It's a teacher planner. This is one of those ones that I found a stash of them, and this was in my stash, so it's a happy planner. I do cut off the tabs because the tab placement isn't all the same throughout the way that we use them, so I cut them off so that I have the tabs here. So this is a teacher planner. This month again, I'm going to set up the tracking grid here. I just haven't done it, and I'm not sure I haven't decided how I'm going to track what I'm doing. So this is this month is my time card. This tells me how much time I was spending and or what I was doing that day to work on the channel or on the other things that I have with making junk journals, planner mentoring, spending time with people who want to make their own planner systems, helping that kind of thing. So that's what this section is. Don't throw away your packaging, your hanging packaging. If you get your books in store, they a lot of times will come with hanging packaging. They do make wonderful dividers. Just cut them down, plop them in. They're clear, which is what I love. Like I said earlier, I love to have the clear thumb tabs. So there's that. This one was my first week. Mostly didn't use it. I am doing the Marguerite Miller Collage Weekly Challenge. as the decoration in here. I'm also doing the planner stash challenge from the Enchanted Planner and Creative Karma Design. They have a stash challenge this year, and so I'm using those as my focus on the decoration for this section. Didn't use this, obviously. Wrote a couple things in, but yeah. So this is the second week. This is my area that where I did my Marguerite Millers. Plus I used the my stash challenge was the ovals. So I went through and found some ovals to use. I'm not using this efficiently yet. I'm getting there. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Oh, I'm doing this while okay, let me go back because I have to write down what it is today. So I need to do my sewing closet and cart. Bring machines upstairs. So there's that. And then this week I got really frustrated because I couldn't figure out how to do something in Design Space, but I did figure out how to do that eventually. This is what I made for my Marguerite Miller Collage Weekly Challenge. I like the concept, didn't pull it off well. And I didn't do a stash challenge this week. I have them elsewhere in my planner. So again, this is where I have my stuff for the big mess. My YouTube, crafting orders, community services, that kind of thing. My sidebar, I haven't figured out yet. Yeah. But I have, at this point, decided to use inbox items at the top, task list here, the things that I'm scripting or prepping here, and what I'm filming and posting here. So that's how I'm currently using it. It's gotten more use this week. Not nearly enough. In my defense, this week I have been focusing on the studio. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. This is next week, and I do have things that I'll be working on next week. So that's this section. This is the things I need to do for this section next month. This section, like I started saying earlier, I've had a lot of mental and physical health problems in 2023. So I decided, originally both of those were listed in my master section. I have sectioned those separately now. So this is my mental health section. I have list of the symptoms that I have regularly here that I refer to later in my recording. Both this section and the physical month section are almost entirely record keeping. The one thing that I had kind of a duh moment is I get lots and lots and lots of ideas. Lots and lots of ideas. And I don't, they just swim around in my head and make me, I get decision fatigue and I get demand avoidance and task paralysis. It's a mess. So instead of having a separate section for this, since it affects my my mental state, I decided to put it in this section this year. So my 24 and 24 goals that I have at the beginning, I am going to record on here, and this is kind of a central place to prove to myself I'm doing stuff. If that makes any sense. Again, it makes sense to me. So this is my what I call my mental month. This is where I put I evaluate at the end of the day how I was feeling overall for the day. Not the little fluctuations through the day or any of that, but how the day went overall. So I have that. I also have this little line down here is telling me what I'm reading or watching. A lot of the stuff that I'm recording is to see what affects what. How much of my mental, how much of my physical, how much external stuff is affecting each other. So most of this, again, is going to be fairly blank because I am not decorating it. It's plain because I'm not decorating it in order to put the blurbs from the day. If you see abandoned through here, it means that I finished a project. Da Vinci said that works of art and other projects are not they're not finished, they're just abandoned. And so things are abandoned, not finished. So yay, I abandoned that. I chose to abandon it that day. It got to the point where I could say, yep, I'm done playing with this. Said that already. So like I said, this is just notes about my overall feeling about the day. I do keep this on here because these are the smileys that I put in the places over here about whether I'm happy, sad, or me about the location that these end up being in. This is, again, didn't use this at all. This is where I am using this side to list out my projects. And this is more journaling and symptom tracking here on my weeklies. This layout is just adorable. It is Creative Karma Design, Di at Creative Karma Designs. When she talks about stretching your stickers and using the other things, she talks about using the bleed to stretch further. So these had boxes in them, and then I cut these out and put them here to create boxes on this, and I think that's adorable. Apparently it was adorable enough that I didn't use it. Whatever, we'll just smile and nod. This is what it usually will look like. Symptom tracking, notes about the day, projects that I'm planning. This, when I decided to do this side I used to not use very well at all. I've gone through multiple iterations, but now that I've decided to do it this way, I know very much what I did, what I plan to do, what I'm working on. This makes my brain very, very happy. And this again does, this is my journaling, my short form journaling through the day, for each day. This is this week. I am going to, like I said, I have been working on doing a studio reset. I want to get my projects out of my head to make me a little less nutty. This one is actually going to be a result though. I've got enough space for each of the carts that I use. I have a craft cart. Okay, I'm not going to call it an addiction because it's not, but I love them. And I have a garage that is my craft cart garage that's over there. And I'm going to put in what I end up putting in each of those. That's what's going to come in here. So that's why that's not filled out yet. This, like I said, I love the clear thumb tabs. So these are my, oh, I need to move that so that I can remember to use this. I haven't used that for a few days. This, again, I use for symptom tracking and journaling through the week. And then I put a reminder down here to make sure and check in with my 24 and 24 goals. So that's what a blank week looks like. This next section is the same thing, but for physical. So I have physical part of my life. So I have, I have my symptoms here that I have commonly. If you can see here, I have my symptom tracking. That's where I put this. I don't have all of these every day. Thank God. Don't have these every day. The ones that I do have, I want to have here so I can watch tracking, watch for trends, and I use that to evaluate how this goes through the day. So I have the same thing set up here for my physical stuff. Again, I cut the divider off. This is a Happy Planner home school. I actually really like the layout. It's a bit busy for what I'm focusing in on what I like and what I need. I had a lot of these, so this is how I've chosen to use it. I probably won't use it again next year. Hopefully next year I will be able to combine at least mental and physical health together. So that's the goal. But I had so many planners, so much stuff. I just decided to use it this way so that I can have a more micro view on each of the problem areas that I've been having. So I do cover the sayings that are on here and cut off this tab. But again, this is for my tracking, my symptom tracking. This one, again, I had started doing things before I had a good tracking system. This will be covered up with my tracking system from now on. This month I'm putting it here and it's just way too tiny. But this one is what I use for tracking my Fitbit stats, the weather, and other I don't think I have anything. If I do something silly like sprain or strain bits and pieces of my body, that's what will go here. So I just have some little sections down here that I use to make this tracking, and it works very well. I don't know that it would work for other people, but I know what it means. So there you go. That's really the importance of planners, is doing them yourself so that you can have what you need. It's a process. Really, really, it's a process. Now, this is another section that comes, one of the sections that come in the homeschool layout, is this spread right here. There's a lot of other stuff that goes on it, but this is how I'm using this through this year. This is my food prep stuff. This is how I prep the stuff. If I go and do meal planning per day, I will not follow it. I will not follow it. But if I put my available meals here, and have, no, we haven't done that yet. And as I use them, I check them off, cross them out, and they get recorded over here. So this is what we're actually had through this week, through the weeks. These are my grab-ems. This is the mornings, and I don't even have a love-hate relationship. We just have a hate relationship. Thought does not happen for at least an hour. So if I don't have to think and my tummy says, yo, dude, we're hungry, go get food, I have what I call grab-ems. And they are a lot of times kid-sized portions, but I'll have the little sauce, applesauce packets, pudding, cheese sticks, those kinds of things. And I'll grab 3 or 4 of those as I wander through the kitchen. No thoughts involved. They're single packaging. It hurts my heart a little bit that I use that much packaging, but it means that I actually eat. It helps me wake up better. Then I also have a list for sides and breakfasts. These aren't just for the things I do have. This goes on my list of my master list of grab-ems. This goes on my master list of available entrees. These are things we like not. When I over here, when I track what we've eaten, I also make note of how it turned out. I made breakfast for dinner last night. The turkey bacon that I bought was gross, so we won't be buying that turkey bacon anymore. I don't know what's up with it, but that one was gross. The curry chicken I tried to do last week, I don't know what happened, but curry chicken didn't happen. Is what it was. I also like to keep a record of the first time dishes that I make. Both the smashed potatoes and the taco quesadillas worked out great. Yeah, again, first week fail. Yeah, don't even know. So this is the layout that I use daily. This is, again, the homeschool planner layout. Color block, and there's a lot of labels and stuff that are supposed to go here that are encouraging things. I just cover them up. Again, it's a bit much for how I'm using it. But it is a little bit new to have this much micro detail in my planner, so I'm getting there. I'm getting there. This is this week. Oh, I can actually check some stuff off. I just added this the other couple days ago. I need to get to bed earlier. I want to get to bed before 2:30 in the morning. So far that hasn't happened, but I was actually awake planning on going to sleep earlier. Yeah, just run with that. So I have intake here, these sections here, my medications, AM, afternoon, PM, over the counter, and need-based prescriptions here. I don't track the amount of water, but if I was able to keep it in my head and that kind of thing, I write a blurb about how much water I have, how much Dr. Pepper I have, other drinks, what we ate for dinner, and then this is if I had, apparently I did take some medications. If you see here, oh, these are OTC medications. If you see here, I have OTC and prescriptions, not subscriptions, prescriptions. Here, I did, specify the yoga, focus, and meditations for this week. That was very helpful. I'm very proud of myself. And so far I have not needed, I already got all of the medications refilled that I needed to. These are so easy to decorate that I do them all at the beginning of the month. And I usually do that with the mental month as well. This I got from Creative Fabrica and printed it out. And then went through and annotated a whole bunch of cycles throughout the year. Throughout the year. So on here I have annotated the beginning of the change, when the change through the astrology science happens. When there's a full moon, when there is a dark moon. So I don't use full moon and new moon. I use bright moon and dark moon because they're opposite each other. And then I'll go through it a little bit further in here, but this is also what is referred to as the young moon. This is also referred to as Diana's bow, Diana being the goddess of the hunt. And this is when the moon looks like the bow, Diana's bow. And this is when she is firing her bow. So this is when, in goal setting, this is when you release the energy to start your goal planning, your goal actions. Bunch of fun stuff that's on here. I have the sabbats and a bunch of other stuff listed. That was fun to put together. Now this planner, I'm not even really sure where this planner came from. If you notice, this is it's just a tiny bit wider. I think it's a quarter inch, an eighth an inch or quarter inch larger, and it was a 2018 planner as well. It's just really cute, and so I decided to use it for this one. Now this is again my magic section or my celebration section. This is where I celebrate life. So I have on this one, this is my daily divine, which is, I have a little spot where I pull a tarot card or a rune, or I throw bones, something along those lines that go here. I note what set I'm using here. And then I also have sections for the moons in goal setting, because I'm using the moons as a goal setting. I don't do well with goals. I understand mentally what goals are, but I don't do well pulling them off. So I have decided, since the lunar cycle is a month-long cycle and ebbs and flows the way that goal setting should, I'm using that as a trigger, as a way to recognize both the lunar cycle and a goal cycle. It's a work in progress, but I really have enjoyed it. So on here I put I annotate. Okay, I don't annotate. I sticker the signs of the month, the lunar cycles of the month. These are others. This is in a little tiny set of stickers that I made. If it has an American flag in it, that means it's a national recognized national holiday. So there's those. This is actually, I also annotate any planets that are in retrograde. So Uranus is in retrograde until the 27th. So I have that here. And I do love to color. I just haven't gotten there yet. See? Not yet. Again, this is my... Didn't use it that week. Really loved this layout. I think it's beautiful. Didn't use it. It was the last quarter moon. I do absolutely adore how big... I felt very gutsy, which is a weird thing to say, but felt very gutsy making large stickers. But it indicates what I'm doing with it. So there you go. The next week was the old moon and the full moon on either side, the old moon and the young moon on either side of the dark moon. This is when you finish up and make observations about the previous goal, when you kind of set everything to neutral, and then when you start planning for your new goal, and then this is where you start your new goal. On here I also have things like, I'll have the sabbats, I have birthdays, other events will go on here, and I will use those kinds of things to, with the moons, to decorate this area. So again, this is this week, and this is starting. I had defined and set off my new goal for this month, this next lunar cycle, lunation, and so this was the waxing quarter moon, and then of course next Thursday is the next bright moon. And then this is where I keep my notes, and I don't even have a note page in there right now, but yeah, that's okay. So this is just fun stuff that my husband found for me. Very happy about that. And I have forgotten, usually I'm not doing this on screen, so I keep forgetting to put that in. I'll go back and fill that out, but that is my planner. That is my planner system. I do use these are sticker template, plan your sticker things from Happy Planner. I do use those on spreads that have a lot of planning involved. Once I'm done with this and actually have filled it out, I put this on the front of my planner, and that way it's very easy to update it. And if I'm completely overwhelmed, there you go. So that is my madness. That is my method and my madness. Let me know what you think. Do interact with the video. It does show me that you are interacting. Ask me questions. Tell me I'm silly. Whatever. But that's why everybody says the like, comment, subscribe thing, is because that's the interaction tells the YouTuber and YouTube itself that that's how we know that you're out there. Anyway, happy planning. Thanks for joining me.